E aí galera, tô eu aqui de novo, né? Sou o Adriano e vamos estar começando nossa jornada novamente aí em Bound by Flame. No último episódio a gente enfrentou um boss tenebroso, foi massa pra caramba. E hoje a gente vai, pelo jeito, fazer uma investigação avassaladora aqui. Olha aí, tem bastante pessoas, elfos, magos, escribas, estão tudo aí. Então, né, vamos lá. No último episódio a gente parou aqui e nesse episódio, pelo jeito, vai ter diálogo pra caramba. Então vamos lá fazer essa investigação aí com o príncipe. Vamos falar com ele primeiro, né? Casco de Meródio. Vamos ver o que é isso aí. Componentes. Acero. Os componentes se podem combinar para criar objetos mais poderosos. Eu tenho 3 acero. O que precisa? Couro. Gema corrompida. Não tem aqui. Aqui, ó. Bom. Isso aqui vai me ajudar pra caramba, que eu vou fazer um negócio aqui daqueles. Ponto, não tenho nada. Olha só aqui. A defesa, defender a barricada. Olha só, falhou bastante coisa. Bom, beleza. Esqueleto. Essas frágeis criaturas são carne de canhão para os senhores de gelo. Atacam em números contingentes, em números grandes. As trampas e ataques zonais são um modo excelente de acabar com eles. Olha só. Mostra os pontos fracos deles. Vomitador. São extremamente perigosos em combate, mano a mano. Alguns deles totalmente cheios de veneno. Explodem ao morrer. Já conheci esses aí. Já conheci eles.
Mercenary, I owe you my life. I'll never forget that.
Como saiu do coma.
How did you get out of your coma in the village?
I don't know. All I know is that I opened my eyes and heard the sound of fighting. I just had the time to grab my weapon and get out into the village square. It looked like the general of the Dead Walkers was waiting for me. Sometimes the sense of duty is more powerful than the pain of wounds.
Maybe the cure we made finally worked.
Relmar told me about that. Maybe you saved my life twice, not just once. Who knows? In any case, I owe you a lot. I won't forget it.
Isso aí, cara, isso aí.
Do you know Relmar well?
I knew him well. A long time ago, when we were young. He and I were milk brothers. We grew up together in my father's palace. But life goes on, and by the time we were adults, we were forced apart. Relmar defied my father's authority, and openly rebelled against his people. He betrayed us.
He had a good reason for it.
A good reason? What reason? Dragging us into a war with the Ice Lords without preparation?
His cause was just. He refused to watch the other peoples of Vertiel suffer and fall one after the other. If the elves had helped, maybe we wouldn't be here today.
We could talk about how just his cause is for days. How could we know what would have happened? Maybe we wouldn't be here today. He wanted to act fast. He was always impulsive. But that behavior led him to reject his king. And his best friend at the same time. He betrayed us, and his recent feats of arms can't change anything, even if it wounds my heart.
Por que os elfos se uniram à guerra tão tarde?
Why did the elves enter the war so late?
That decision cost us dearly. It isn't easy to watch the other peoples of Vertiel suffer and fall one after the other. But our king felt that we needed to gain time. We had information about the Deadwalkers that led us to be careful. Long before the war officially began, they were already crushing all of their opponents far to the north.
And you said nothing? You could have warned the other kingdoms.
We told them to avoid the fight, to flee and regroup. They didn't listen to us. So we preferred to stay neutral and not provoke the Ice Lords. They must have known they couldn't defeat us without losing a large part of their strength. So they saved the greatest prize for the last. We thought that our best-trained troops could halt them. We underestimated them, and neglected to take into account the fact that each army they defeated made them stronger.
Are you from Carolthas?
Yes, I was born there. I spent most of my life there. Carolthas is one of the most ancient of our cities. I mean, it was. We knock things down so seldom that the city is built in layers. But I've unfortunately never visited the underground levels, and I'm unfamiliar with the passageways there. I suppose that's why you asked the question.
I'll be going now.
Terminou o diálogo?
How can I help you, mercenary?
I'll be going now.
E esse cara aí? Falar com o comandante supremo Valen.
Vulcan, I hope you've got good news.
I still haven't found your passageway beneath the city.
It's there, somewhere, and we have to find it. It's our only chance.
Acerca da becada dos mortos errantes em caminho para Caraltas.
Do the Deadwalkers still hold the main road?
Still, and it's a problem. We won't be able to secure the perimeter for long with the undead nearby. And we won't be able to take Carolthas with that road in enemy hands.
Me encarregarei da barricada.
I'll take care of those walking corpses before your men ever need to worry about them.
Thank you. That should give my men enough time to finish our mission.
I have some questions I'd like to ask you.
Como sobreviveu à batalha em Caraltas?
How did you survive the Battle of Carolthas?
I was lucky. When we got wind of the arrival of the Deadwalkers, our king sent me to reconnoiter. I was outside Carolthas when they attacked. Over the days that followed, I tried to gather together as many survivors as I could. Alas, that was all I could do.
Vamos colocar todas, né?
Do you have any information about what's going on in the city?
Very little. I can only trust what the last soldiers who got out have said. Apparently, most of the Deadwalker troops have left, including Lord Blackfrost. He assigned one of his concubines to control the region, but I have no idea what kind of creature we're dealing with. That said, if the Ice Lords keep to their usual tactics, they'll clean up the last pockets of resistance and start transferring their prisoners.
Do you know if there's any other resistance in Vertiel?
The rare information I get these days is not good. Several human kingdoms have capitulated unconditionally. The Chiller has apparently laid waste to one of the major elf settlements in the east. We have no news of the others. There are probably pockets of resistance, but they are tiny and have no hope against the Deadwalkers.
One more reason to hold here. We are Vertiel's last hope. What can you tell me about the Prince?
I understand what you're asking. Is he up to it? The answer is yes. Since the start of this war, the Prince has always been in the front line. He has demonstrated skill and courage, sometimes endangering his own life. He has, of course, taken some unnecessary risks, but the situation was different then. I think he'll be more cautious in the future.
I see. The young prince wanted to prove to his father that he was deserving of his affection.
He was merely seeking to protect his people.
What can you tell me about the prince?
I understand what you're asking. Is he up to it? The answer is yes. Since the start.
Já foi essa. Aqui já
I'll be
é.
going now.
Vamos lá, falar com esse cara aí.
Just in time, Vulcan. I'm afraid I need your help again.
What happened to you now?
To me, nothing. It's about my people. Have you ever heard of the Stone of Souls?
No. Worth a lot?
No. I mean, yes. It's priceless, but it's not for sale.
I'm not sure I follow you.
I'll explain. Every elf possesses a Stone of Souls, which contains the memories and emotions from all the greatest moments of his life. These stones are passed from generation to generation. It's a way of preserving the memories of our people and of honoring our ancestors. With all of those who died at Carolthas, there are thousands of stones abandoned in the city. We cannot just leave them there. You are no doubt the one who will be traveling to our city the most. If you could bring back as many of them as possible, I'd be eternally grateful. Actually, all of my people would be in your debt. At least the ones who still live.
Vamos pegar esse negócio aí pra ele.
All right, I'll take care of it. But don't expect to see me dancing around with a wheelbarrow full of rocks.
That would in fact be an amusing sight. But I do get your meaning. Whenever you can, check the bodies of elves you come across and collect the stones. Even if we manage to save only a very few, we will at least preserve some of the memories of my people.
I'll see what I can do.
Cambiemos de tema.
Let's change the subject. I have a few questions I need to ask you. I'm guessing this is not the way you'd always imagined coming back to your lands.
For years now, I've been waiting for the day when I could go back to my city. But deep inside, I've dreaded this moment. If I was ever coming back home, it could only mean one of two things. Either I'd been captured by my people, or I'd been forgiven because I was right. I would have preferred being captured. My city has fallen, and I do not recognize it.
Não viemos fazer turismo.
It doesn't matter what condition this city is in. We didn't come here for a guided tour. What matters to me is how we get reorganized and who with. I hope that your elves are pissed off enough to put up a fight.
If they are feeling anything like what I do, then I guarantee that the Deadwalker army will be suffering very soon.
I sure hope so. Let's change the subject. I'll leave you here.
Não vou brincar contigo não, cara. Tem assim, meu, aqui ainda.
Damn, it's freezing here. Aren't you cold?
I've spent many winters in libraries with no heating. After that, you hardly notice the cold. Which reminds me, do you know if the library in the city is still intact?
No idea. You looking for any book in particular?
Not a book, many books. The elves have the most advanced culture in the world. Their libraries contain works of inestimable value. We should find them. They could be useful to us.
I have other things I gotta do first. I have to accompany the prince, remember? But I will try to go with you so you can find your books later. Promise.
Tem que ajudar ela. Vamos ver o que mais ele vai falar.
Vulcan, I have to talk to you about Edwin. I saw you getting friendly with her. You should be more careful. She is not what she pretends to be.
I know she's not playing straight with us. She's got her little secrets, just like everyone else.
You don't understand. It's a lot more serious than little secrets. I found some very worrying information in one of the last books I read. 200 or 300 years ago, there were other groups of sages and magicians, like the Red Scribes. One of these orders was called the White Lords.
So you think that they were the ancestors of the Ice Lords or something? What does that have to do with Edwin?
I'm getting to that. The White Lords lived in the north of Vertiel, out in the ice. We know little about them. For a long time it was believed they had disappeared. But in reality, they somehow transformed themselves. And in one of the books that I consulted, I found an engraving of a woman, one of their leaders. It was the portrait of that witch.
Sim, é ela. É ela. Claro que é ela. Ela viu uma bravura, uma imagem da Edwin num livro. E claro que é ela, porque eu sei, né, que é ela.
It is suspicious. We'll have to check it out.
Since you seem so close to her, try to find out more about her past. How old is she? Where was she born? I don't know. Just something, anything that might give her away.
I will have to be careful so she doesn't get wise to me.
Keep me informed, but believe me, I'm almost sure it is her.
É ela. E tu tá vendo coisa também aí em cima. Tá vendo coisa.
We need to talk about your combat style.
What do you want me to do?
I know you want to help me, but you gotta stay alive to do that. Think of defending yourself a little.
You're right. I will try to be more careful.
Isso aí, isso aí. Perguntas?
I'd like to ask you a few questions.
What do you want to know?
Não fizemos nada aí.
See you later.
É, tem um negócio, né, ó. Cadê? Agarre de caça, metal refinado e couro. Agarre de impacto. O que isso aqui vai fazer? Capacidade de interrupção mais 3. Probabilidade de golpe crítico. Agarre de caça e aumenta 5 o dano, né? E aqui 15% de golpe crítico. Vou colocar essa aqui. Esta. Beleza. Melhorou. Casco de meródio. Resistência a veneno. Resistência a magia. Qualquer coisa a gente coloca aquele. Só para trocar aí um pouco. Vamos ver o que tem aqui. Vai 17. Regeneração de magia. Colosso. Regeneração de magia, não. Esse colosso aqui falta o quê? Falta um acero. Vamos ver as outras coisas aí. Ó, resistência a gelo. Saúde máxima. E escarcelas de grifo. Para usar acero também. E aqui. Resistência a gelo. Resistência a magia escura. 5%. Dano de trampa, olha só. Mais 5. Dano de veneno, mais 2 segundos. Resistência a veneno. Não vou mexer aqui. E esse faz o quê? Tem pouca coisa. Pouca coisa. Tinha mais um negócio que eu queria fazer. Cutilos carniceiros. O que que tem aí? Dano físico em sigilo. Punho de meródio. Capacidade de interrupção vai para 9. Eu ia fazer alguma coisa. Era com a gema corrompida. Zona de turbilhão. Incrementa notavelmente o raio dos ataques circulares. É o turbilhão aí a gente deveria colocar, né? Cabeça cortante. Precisão. Cadê o negócio da gema corrompida que precisava? Prender fogo. Será que eu coloco isso aqui? Punho ardente. Cabeça surcadora. Vai para 16. 2 a mais, 2 a menos. Eu vou colocar o turbilhão. É isso aí. Tem alguma coisa aqui? Olha só. Escarcelas de grifo. Mas eu não sei, galera. Onde é que foi parar o negócio? Tá. Paciência. Hablar Baldwin.
I have nothing to say to you, mercenary. You want to follow these gutless elves? That's your choice, not ours. Now leave us!
Tu quer tomar?
I have nothing to say to you, mercenary. You want to follow these gutless elves? That's your choice, not ours. Now leave us!
Eu vou te dar um pau, cara. Tu vai ver. Não querem fazer nada? Os vagabundos. Vamos pra cá. E agora, hein? Liestas.
Do you have a moment?
Esse aqui só vai ser diálogo, né? Praticamente dessa vez.
I wanted to ask you a few things. What do you know about Carolthas?
It's a very ancient city. Far more ancient than it appears. The elves are master preservers of architecture. They shrink from destroying, preferring to construct new strata on top. You can find traces of Carolthas in works that are over 1,000 years old. Some buildings, like the royal palace, are of unequaled complexity. But the city also incorporates more primitive districts. And there must be underground areas as a result of all these piles.
Que é ocorrido aqui.
What happened here?
As far as I understand it, the elfin army was caught unaware by powerful magic that buried them under ice in an instant.
They didn't stand a chance.
And how could they? Such magic requires the presence of a very powerful sorcerer, someone on the order of an Ice Lord. They rarely take to the battlefield, but when they do, all hope is lost. Rumor here has it that it was the work of Blackfrost.
Quem é Negranskarcha?
Who is this Blackfrost?
Don't tell me that you don't know the name.
Don't take me for an idiot. I know what he is, but that doesn't really help much, does it?
He's one of the Seven. He's known for his craftiness, his guile. He prefers using magic rather than his armies. In the past, he used to be more discreet. But for 2 years now, he's been leading the Deadwalkers' assaults, and is regularly seen in the front lines.
What changed?
I don't know. The Ice Lord's alliance is a delicate balance. It is possible that this is the result of an internal power struggle. He has certain abilities that make him fit for the role. Blackfrost is without a doubt very effective. Just look at the destruction around us.
Let's change the subject.
Tem mais perguntas?
I wanted to ask you a few things. Let's change... later.
Tá bem, esse foi.
Mercenary, can you give me a hand again? You've been invaluable up to now. There was a library in the city. Could you take a look to see if there are any books left on the object you brought back for me from the temple?
Can't you be a bit more specific? I can't go looking through all the books on the off chance I get lucky and find the exact info you need.
Maybe I could go with you. I've always dreamed of looking through all the books of the renowned Carolthas library.
Well, let's see. Going into the city isn't really something you do for your health, you know. I can't take the risk. We'll have to find another solution.
Não conversar melhor com ele.
So, did you find a book on what we found?
No. There are too many books to go through and enemies everywhere. I need some kind of reference or clue as to where to look.
Greetings, mercenary. What can I do for you?
Vamos ver o que ele tá vendo.
Can I have a look at your stock?
Poção de saúde. Gema. Serve pra fazer o quê? Objeto poderoso, né? Tá escrito ali. Vamos pra cá, olhar com calma. Sentinela, ó.
Mercenary.
Esse aqui foi o único que sobreviveu à batalha, né? A gente veio investigar o sentinela, tem alguma coisa errada.
How did you manage to make it through the battle?
Bit of luck, just like with everyone who survived. I'd pulled guard duty so many times in a row that I was sent on R&R. If you really want to know, I was in a steam room when the attack came, having a really hot bath. It was horrible. The deathly silence that fell on the city just like that, with just that awful cracking of ice. Anyway, I jumped into my uniform and ran like crazy until I found my commander. And now here I am. Nothing really heroic about it, I'm afraid.
Que pode contar do seu comandante?
What can you tell me about your commander?
I hardly know him. I wasn't in his unit. As far as I know, he wasn't that high up, but he's the highest ranking officer we have left. Anyway, I have to admit that he managed to bring us together, set up camp, and get a bit of cohesion going in us fugitives. That's not too bad.
How are things going in the camp?
Bah, we're short of everything and morale's not great. But we're together and alive. And most of us are really pissed off. In a way, you could say everything's fine. Even if I heard that the survivors from the human army were kicking up a bit of a fuss.
I'm leaving.
É suspeito, rapaz. Ouro e couro. Vamos aqui. Ô príncipe, ô príncipe, o que tu tá fazendo aí parado? Sai fora daí. Tá me tirando, né, cara? Vamos, cadê? Caiu já. Morri. Ah, aí sim. Vamos outra. Aí eu fui bem, mandei bem nessa aqui, hein? desgraçado tem 2 escudos. Morrer com esse cara aí não. Esse pince aí tá. Vamos, cara, cai! Ai, me pegou ali. Não vai falar sério que eu vou ter que enfrentar o cara de novo. Bola, bola. É, com esse escudo aí. Não quero mais escudo, meu. Aqui nós vamos ter que usar de chute. Olha, ó.
We'll be watching this sector. Thank you for your help, mercenary.
Então tá. É no chute, a marolinha. Vai enfrentar esses miseráveis aí. tá ali não vai, não? Vou falar com esse cara aí.
The going's a bit steep, so be careful where you step.
Caminho o quê?
Nothing to report.
Vamos fazer essa outra agora. Tem que ser na espreita. Vem pra cá, rapaz. Vai, ataca, ataca. O bichinho me pegou desprevenido ali. É agora, meu? É agora? Ó. Tá, deu uma volta. Vamos por aqui. Lá já tem aqueles vomitador, né? Eu vou me ferrar. Vamos nessa. Língua de serpe. Vamos ver depois qual é dessa aí. Vamos aqui. Rápido, rápido. Vai. Fogo nessa coisa. Olha a diferença. Olha a diferença do dano. Tonchou, príncipe? Tonchou? Olha lá o que ele fez com a minha vida. Tá? Vamos ver qual é dessa espada. Agarre de dragão. Dano físico em sigilo. Vamos indo arrumando as coisinhas ali aos poucos, né? Cuidado, vamos ver então. Vocês eu vou pegar depois, agora eu vou pegar vocês. Isso aqui não vai dar. Volta pra lá, o seu gramputo. Agora, embora. Pega ele aí. Pega ele.
Thanks for the help, mercenary. We're going to keep watch in this sector.
Beleza. Tem mais alguma coisa aqui?
If I were you, I wouldn't go near the main gate to the city. There are a lot of deadwalkers over there.
Tá. Na outra eu vou continuar no episódio, no próximo episódio. Vou pegar as coisas aqui. Essa aí foi sofrida. Vamos só avançar um pouco para salvar. Pronto. Então, vamos encerrando por aqui. Espero que tenham gostado desse episódio. Teve bastante diálogo, também fiz um pouco de uma missão aqui. Vou terminar ela no próximo episódio. É isso aí. Não esqueça aquele gostei no vídeo para dar aquela força, para ajudar bastante. Tamo junto. Um forte abraço, até o próximo vídeo.